just finally making it out to the temple, which would be my last sightseeing before checking out of my hotel and getting on a plane. And it started pouring rain as soon as I got out of the MRT station. Just thinking this wasn't meant to be. I just was not meant to see this temple. Last day of this trip, going back home now. So I'm waiting, hoping the rain will stop, and if it does, I'll run over to the temple and get a look at it. If not, I guess I'll have to do it next time. What is a durian? I was supposed to fly out at 8:45 this morning out of Singapore to go back to San Francisco, but my flight got canceled because of aircraft maintenance, they said. I was thankful for that. Now I get to fly out at 4. Certainly didn't want to fly out at 8:45 a.m. That would have been miserable. I was actually looking to rebook the flight for a later time, but couldn't find anything, and then I would have had to pay extra for that. And suddenly I get a notice that my flight has been canceled, and then now I get to rebook for free. Singapore with some sunlight. Let's see. A very nice city, very nice people. Used to be a part of China, then when Malaysia was being created, it was going to be a part of Malaysia, and then that didn't work out, and it became its own country. Actually, the primary language here is English. I didn't know that. It makes it very easy to get around. In some ways, I'm sad to be bringing it to an end. In some ways, I'm ready to get back to normal life in Santa Cruz. I'm just very grateful, very appreciative that I got to make this trip, especially at that point whenever I really thought I was going to have to cancel this trip. Well, here I am at the end of it, and very grateful that I get to do this. This is one of the things I love doing. Ready to go home, not so ready to go home. Mystery. It turns out they're a mythical creature in Singapore. They don't want you carrying durians on the subway because, well, first of all, they're mythical, so they don't really exist. That's why they don't actually include the fine. They include the fine for smoking, drinking, or having flammable goods, but not a durian, because durians aren't real. From what I understand, you really don't want to mess with a durian.
Apparently, that's a cause to get kicked out of Singapore.
You definitely don't want to carry them on the subways because they have a sign. The sign says, no durian. I don't even want to know what the fine is for having durians. And they don't even put it because it's probably really, really serious. Always interesting to see these temples. They have the swastikas. I don't know if you can see that. There's swastikas. Of course, they're reversed. Well, Hitler reversed them. It's a shame he took that symbol and that it came to mean what it's come to mean. Finally made it to the temple, was videoing inside of it, and I got told to stop. I'm not looking to be disrespectful or do anything that people don't like, so I stopped videoing. I'm kind of in a rush, so I gotta catch a plane, so I want to take a shower before I do that. It's an interesting part of town. I think it's Chinatown. I didn't really get to explore it. This is where James stayed. This was my last thing I wanted to check out. I wish I had more time because I would check out some of these shops, but it's so sad, isn't it? We're leaving. Singapore, James, Ryan, me. We're leaving.
Yeah. We came, we saw, we conquered. James came a little more.
Yeah, it's not fair.
You poor bastard.
You should have waited up for me. the Singapore airport where I've got about another hour to wait before my flight boards. Looking for something to eat, and I went to Starbucks and I found this. It's a Cajun chicken sandwich from Starbucks. So I'm a Cajun in Singapore about to eat a Cajun chicken sandwich from Starbucks in Singapore. That probably doesn't really mean anything. I was walking through Chinatown looking for that temple, which turned out to be not a big deal, but it's cool to see temples. Ended up buying some bracelets on the way back. On the way there, this woman walked up to me and she was being pretty aggressive and a little pushy, and she kept doing this, and she was holding something like a sign in her hand. Obviously she wanted to sell something, but she kept doing this, and I thought she meant that I had something on my under my eye, so I started doing like this, and I'd say, you know, did I get it? But she didn't speak English that well, and then she switched under the other eye, so I started thinking maybe I had the wrong eye, so I started doing this as well, and I was like, did I get it? I got a little frustrated. I knew she was selling something, so I kept walking. I got maybe 10 steps, and I noticed she was running up behind me. She continues to do this, and I'm thinking, man, she really wants to help me out here. She really wants to get whatever it is under my eyes. I start doing that again, and I'm like, and then she switches again. So, and I'm just like, oh, could I just get whatever it is off my face? And then I looked down at her sign. By this time I thought she had been trying to get me to go to a restaurant. I kept telling her, I've already eaten, I'm not hungry. And I looked down and it was a massage place, and then I understood. She was pointing to the bags and darkness under my eyes, which has been an issue for me lately, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that. But anyway, she was offering something of whatever they do, massage or whatever, was supposed to get rid of this, and that's why she kept doing that. Actually, I would have probably taken her up on that had I not have to get to the airport. The durian, just ate the Cajun sandwich from Starbucks, and that was definitely not Cajun. And I'm not just saying that because I'm being a snob about Cajun food. There was absolutely nothing Cajun about it. I would assume they only used the name Cajun to make it sound more interesting than just a chicken sandwich. There was no spice in it, not even salt, not even black pepper. There was nothing about it. It could have been just a chicken sandwich. It could have been called a chicken sandwich. Not anything special about it. I mean, if they're going to slap Cajun on it, they could slap Italian on it, and it would have been the same thing. They could have called it Greek, and there was just nothing that distinguished it apart from anything other than just a chicken sandwich. Come to think of it, I'm not even sure if there was any chicken in it either. Definitely not Cajun. Definitely not Cajun. Waiting at the Hong Kong airport for about 2 hours, and I got about 2 more hours to go before my flight takes off. I'm just worn out. I'm sleepy, which is good because I'll sleep on the plane. I'm just ready to get home. I wish I could go out and explore Hong Kong, but I don't have that much time. I'm just ready to go home. I'm ready to sleep. I'm gonna sleep on the plane for sure.